Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. It is the most creative weird makeup artist here on the internet to bring you another spooky Disney inspired makeup transformation, my finale to the Snow White 2.0 series finally. So let's get started. You can subscribe for more videos like this. We do 2 videos a week every Monday and Friday here on this channel, not only doing effects videos and body paintings, but we do beauty makeups, we talk about spooky stories and very interesting topics, so you can hit the notification bell to subscribe and watch some more. Now this video I'm so nervous about because I am going to be doing my face encrusted with jewels. I decided to do a little bit of a twist on Snow White, the original take of her. I was heavily inspired by Greta Miki on Instagram and absolutely mesmerized by her makeup, and I really wanted to create it similar to on a Disney princess. Snow White would be perfect for a stoned makeup look like this with tons of jewels scattered all over the face. Like if the dwarves from Snow White, since they mine in a diamond mine, what if the diamonds exploded onto her face? It may sound crazy, but a little bit beautiful, almost like a bedazzled face that has gone wrong and a little bit creepy. And of course we're gonna do this all while telling some spooky, scary stories that I hope and I think are true, that I scoured the internet for, trying to find the realest and spookiest ones. So that is super creepy and exciting, so it might be a little bit terrifying. Oh my goodness. I haven't worn this dress, I can't believe it still fits, since I did my first Snow White series so long ago. I think it was 6 years ago. Oh my goodness, where has time gone? So this first story didn't happen to the person reading it, but it happened to her immediate family. Writing this story. She said it happened to her older sister and she wants to know if this is paranormal or not. So in 2007, her sister, the husband, and their child, who was 6 years old at the time, were on a vacation in a beach town in India. They have plenty of homestays, they're called there, where the owner lets them stay in a portion of the house. It was quite common, and it was on the west coast of India, and it was kind of like what Vrbo and Airbnb are like today. On the last day of the holiday, she woke up at 2 in the morning smelling a horrible rotten smell, and she just assumed that it was maybe someone like cleaning out their fish nets or their boat about to go fishing the next morning, since they lived in a little town that was like a fishing village. But as she lied in bed, realizing the time that it was 2 in the morning, she thought that was really odd, a very late odd time for anyone to be out. So she got up, went to the balcony to look outside, and the stench got even nastier, smelling stronger, intensified, and she saw a lit kerosene lantern out there. And not only that, but it was like on its last few drops, the lantern. I'm trying this really cool new sponge today. This is called the Super Sponge. It has its own like cleaning pad stand. It sounds cool, we'll see. This in blends in the makeup, and this in blends out if you want to take any like away if it's too like strong, so we will see. And as she saw this lantern though, her sister, while she was out on the balcony, she saw someone on this wood railing. Not only that, but they were laying down in a fetal position. And it was a woman who had like dirty hair, really raggedy clothes, but she doesn't think that she noticed her right away. The person in the fetal position, this woman, was actually looking out towards the sea. Sorry, the sponge is so interesting because it's supposed to use less foundation, meaning it absorbs less of the foundation and product into the sponge and applies more to your face. So you're using like 1/4, it says, of the makeup product. Anyways, the stench was definitely coming from this woman in the fetal position, her sister could tell, and she tried not to like scream, hyperventilate, overreact to seeing this woman in such a odd condition in a fetal position on the balcony. So to try not to scream, she tiptoed back inside her room, trying to wake her husband up, and lucky for her, her husband was already up. So he was awake and sitting up, trying to figure out what his wife was up to, and so she whispered in his ear, and they both tiptoed outside. Sorry, I'm amazed by the sponge. I definitely am using less foundation than I normally do. This is not a sponsored video. I'm just trying this for the very first time live right now with you guys on this video. So her husband had this grand idea to clap to get the woman's attention without screaming or yelling or anything, you know, just to like see what will happen. And this woman was shocked, to say the least. Like, she jumped on the ground. So not only did this person jump, but she jumped from that balcony railing to the roof, like tiled balcony below them. And then they heard coconut leaves crunching on the ground below them outside of the building, like a heavy weight and then a thud of a heavy mass on top of these coconut leaves. At this moment, her sister kind of lost it and was screaming, which woke up her nephew when she ran inside. And apparently not only did the nephew not smell a thing like the parents did, but he doesn't, you know, remember anything at all. I mean, he was only, what, 6? Child, so I could see why. And of course the stench had magically gone away once the woman had jumped from the balcony, which I could see why that would happen too. They had called a friend who lived nearby and the owners in the home that they were staying in. He woke up the owners of the home they were staying in, of course, to be like, what the heck is this? Is this normal? But the owners of the home had no idea who this person was, who they could be, what was happening, if this was normal, if this usually happens, or anything. They just had no answers for this family who was terrified. You know, like, what if she comes back stinking up the place and jumping from buildings to rooftops, crunching leaves and scaring her kid? I guess I'm just feeling that risky tonight. I'm going to use a brand new eyeshadow because this screams an everyday makeup palette for Snow White. These are the new Colourpop quads. Well, they're not, maybe not that new when you're watching this, but this is the Sherbet pressed powder, sorbet, how do you pronounce that? Anyways, pressed powder palette. We're gonna use these today. That was the end of that story. So this next one's about video games. This person was playing one of these video games that I would love to play, where they're trying to solve clues in this game to find a serial killer in the game, you know? To catch this serial killer, but the game asks to use your real name, your real email address as information to start said game, which isn't, I guess, too out of the norm. Some people even link up their Facebook pages and info to games nowadays on apps and alike online. But to get messages from the killer to find him, they needed this info, you know? They think this game was called Evidence or something similar to Evidence. So this person was enjoying the game a lot, and about 3 or 4 days into it, they're still loving it. They lived in an apartment by themselves with a dog and a cat, with a few cats, but at 2 in the morning one night, their dog woke them up barking like crazy. And this person's dog only ever barked when someone was knocking at the door. This person got up out of bed, but looked around the apartment and saw literally nothing of any concern. So she calmed her dog down and went back to bed. And literally the next morning when she logged into her game, trying to hunt the serial killer down, she woke up to a new message on her game that said, directly from the killer, this message came by your place early this morning. Guess I just missed you. We'll try again soon. What? Too real. Too much of a coincidence. They immediately noped out of the game and haven't touched it since. I do not blame you. What? This is absolutely horrifically terrifying to me. Even if it was just a coincidence, I would look into that game and try to find the creators, email the creators, like, what the heck is this, if you can. That's terrifying. And this next story starts off at a grandmother's house. This person was at their grandmother's house after she had just passed, and like her whole family was there and everything. And across from the house, their cousins lived there, so their cousins were there as well. And this person was like the youngest and very young at the time, but all of their cousins that lived across the way were all playing over there unsupervised, and they wanted to play over there as well with their cousins. You know, I don't blame them. This sounds like something I would do. This already sounds like something from my childhood. It's not a cat sketch video unless you have amazingly blinding lip highlight, upper lip highlight. One of the older cousins asked if they were bored and asked them if they've ever heard of Slender Man. Oof, I'm scared already of where this is gonna go. This person had heard of Slender Man but didn't want to say anything because they didn't want their cousin to scare their little brother, so they automatically just said no. So they all looked it up and immediately felt scared, like they just have seen a horror movie type scared. And they basically just started trying to scare each other and point at random things and saying, "It's Slender Man!" just to scare everyone. And they would race to see who would get away, just like fake screaming, Slender Man and everything, just laughing and screaming. And they eventually would lead the game outside, and they ran and screamed, laughing into their grandmother's house. So they ran inside out of breath while their family members were sorting out their grandmother's things. So as not to disturb the family, they sit by a window just staring outside, and something just speeds past the window out of nowhere. Like an unnatural speed that they couldn't explain. And all they could tell by this thing that zoomed by was that it was the colors of and looks of Slender Man. It had a little white top with a black suit jacket and like red where the tie was. And at first they thought that they had just hallucinated this thing because they were just talking about it, and that they were so scared from, you know, the stories and stuff and the things that them and their cousins were playing. Then when they looked back behind them at their cousin, who was also looking out the window, their cousin looked terrified as well, meaning they probably saw the same thing. And all of their cousins were inside the house, so it wasn't like a prank by one of their cousins or friends or anyone there, because everyone was inside the house. Absolutely love this eyeliner lash glue adhesive by Dollar Lash Club. I just draw my liner on and attach my lashes. They thought it was a car, but it couldn't have gone that fast, so they still question it to this day. I'm just putting on lash glue before I put on this crazy jewel. They're gonna act like diamonds. So this next story is a person talking about the house that they grew up in. Their house had a kitchen window that had a clear view of the entire kitchen, and the faucet was like furthest away. They had a window on the side of the house that their mom always left open, and it was 15 feet away from their neighbor's house. And it always bothered them even as a kid, because they felt like some random person could come into their house through this way because the blinds were open and everything. Their house was actually burglarized by some random neighborhood kids that came through the garage into their house at one point, but they still felt like this was the easiest access point to their house. So this person, even growing up in the house, they would always close and lock the windows and complain about it to their mom. And this person's mom would brush them off, acting like this was no big deal. So this person was at a school dance one night, and one of their friends' moms offered to take them back home. So as their friend's mom was dropping them back home, they were in the position to see their kitchen from the driveway. Crouched low near the window is a person in all black peering through that window they were worried about. And immediately their first instinct was to go up to the person and jump out of their friend's car and chase them down, but the person had seen them and just started full sprint running away. And they started running towards that person, but of course they got away. They went inside their house to be like, "What the heck, mom?" And their mom was just cheerfully by the sink acting like nothing happened. I'm gonna be doing the rest of the skin of this and adding more jewels and a wig, and we will be back with the final look. And just like that, we are done. I opted out for putting like skin around these because it just made it so messy and like not cute. This is our Snow White encrusted in diamonds look. I hope you guys enjoyed this. This was highly inspired by the amazing makeup artist from Instagram named Greta Miki. You should definitely check her out. I'll put her link down below. All of her work is absolutely gorgeous. All the products that I used in this video will be listed down below in the description box. I feel like Betty Boop. Snow White has always been one of my absolute favorite princesses. I had so much fun doing this. This took me almost 4 hours to complete. You can definitely subscribe for more videos like this. We do 2 videos a week here on this channel every Monday and Friday. Not only videos like these, but beauty makeups, body paintings, effects videos. I hope you guys enjoyed all the spooky tales we told. And that completes our final look for our Snow White 2.0 Twisted Disney series. I had so much fun with all of the characters. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment down below on what other makeup video ideas you would love to see. If I love your comment, I'll definitely choose yours. And I will see you guys in the next video. Stay spooky. Bye.